Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. We got some errands to run around this morning. Dad and I are going to make a trip. He's got scrap in the back of his truck. We're going to go to the scrap yard. We're going to go to our electrical supplier because we need some electrical stuff for our irrigation, well pump, all that. And we got a couple of banks we got to stop at. Well, the scrap is gone. The electrical supply store where we normally get our stuff is closed for a funeral today, so that was a swing and a miss. And we're on our second bank stop of the day. Sometimes Dad comes to this town and he goes to the bank across the road and then to this bank, and it's quite comical to me, actually, but not today. We didn't go to the one across the road. We did go to another one down the road, though. We have 3 different banks here that we do business with. It's a little excessive sometimes. Got back from our errands run. I have just a few minutes before the people who want to go scout fields get here. I'm going to run back and look at our early planted beans. It is a Monday. But mostly I want to put flags in where I made that foliar application last week. What day was that? Thursday? Friday last week? We sprayed some foliars on. I want to put some flags in so I know where that strip is in the future, and we'll see if we can see any noticeable differences yet. Well, that should be our split. Negligible, noticeable difference, if any, which frankly is what I expected to see. What we will see pretty soon is the weeds starting to die off from the glyphosate that we sprayed, so that's good. But we can take a look at these beans. They are growing. They're looking better and better all the time. Here we've got one. We've got our nice healthy cotyledons. We've got our unifoliates. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 fully expanded trifoliates, almost a 5th one. V4. They're not all there. There's a little variation, but they're certainly growing. Looking better. A week from now, I'll be starting to close the rows in and be real good. All right, we better get back up to the farm. Down here at our Berkey farm, and we're looking at the plot where we put chicken litter water versus where we didn't. No real visual difference at this point, but haven't dug any roots or looked at anything, and they're just kind of flagging stuff out to see, so we can keep an eye on it later in the season. Couple of things that I have noticed. One, our stand looks pretty good for the most part, but every now and then we've got some of these super late emergers, and I'm not real sure why, other than that planting conditions probably were not ideal. We may have had some cloddy dirt, some dry dirt, or something that prevented them from getting in good moisture and growing. Like here's 3 in a row, and then we got 2 good ones, and there's another one. There's a bunch in a row in that one. It's interesting. I don't like seeing that, but stand for the most part does look really good, and the corn's growing, and we got plenty of moisture. It's going to take off here. We're going to be just fine. Trying to dig up a plant here, and well, you know how everybody says we don't have any earthworms in our soil because of the anhydrous that we use. I just buried one. There's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right there. I mean, yeah, no, we got no life in our soil. Just broke the roots off though. This soil's pretty sticky. It's pretty wet, so it's a little hard to get it to break off the roots without breaking the roots. Not as impressive a root system as the plant we dug up the other day, where I got them all out, or most of them out, without breaking so much anyway. This is a V2 plant. It's a little farther behind stuff up to Waldron, which it was some of the last planted, so you expect that. You can see our seed kernel there. First ring of nodal roots coming out. Mesocotyl right here. Looks good. I'm happy with it. All right, well, we took a few stand counts. Stand is excellent. Like, we got a few straggler plants there, but they're all there. The stand was really good. We were getting 30 31,000 where I planted 31,000. We were getting 32 to 33, even a couple of 34s, where we planted 32.9, 33,000. So they're almost all there. It looks really, really good. That corn's growing. It's just a little bit behind what the stuff at Waldron is. It could be side dressed anytime. I would really like to finish side dressing at Waldron before we move down here, just for logistical reasons, but I would like to do that. So we'll see how it goes. Back up at Waldron, it's too wet here today anyway, so it wouldn't matter a whole lot if we were here. It's supposed to rain a bunch towards the end of the week, but I'm really hoping that we can get back in the fields and keep moving on this anhydrous. I can do a lot in a hurry if we can just get some weather to go, so let's see. While I'm down here at Berkey, I wanted to stop in and look at some of our wheat. It's really stretched out, gotten fairly tall. We're on the ends here, but it looks really good. I think we're going to have excellent wheat. I keep saying that. We're setting ourselves up for disappointment here, but the heads are nice and fat, and they look really nice. Not plump kernels. We do have some disease, more disease than I like to see. Now, again, we're on the ends here. You get out in the field, it may be different, but let's take a look. You can see we got a little bit of some stuff going down right here. That's overlap from the nitrogen. If you put too much nitrogen on wheat, it grows too tall and can't support itself, and it falls down. So that's what's happening here. Small spot. Most of the field looks good. Most of the field looks really good. But when we look at our leaves down here, especially these lower leaves, you can see we've got some rust on them, some brown stuff. The flag leaf, this one up high, mostly healthy. There's a little bit. It's not terrible. A little more disease than I would like to see, but our wheat's probably a week away from turning and starting to mature, if that even. So there's nothing we're going to do about it at this point. Cool, good deal. I have been hearing some reports of some army worms in the general area, so that's kind of what we're looking for here, is any leaf feeding, chewing on stuff. What'll happen is they'll chew on these flag leaves, and then they'll clip these heads. They'll clip the stems right here, and the heads will fall to the ground. We don't want that. Do not want that. So I don't see any leaves that have been chewed on. Some other insect working on this one, but that's not armyworm feeding. Dad looked at this wheat on Saturday, and he looked at it in several different spots, and he said he found 2 armyworms. That was it. So we're probably okay, but I have heard that they are in the region at least. One of my errands that I needed to run while down there to Berkey was pick up our dump trailer and load it up with some mulch. So I did that. Now we get to spread mulch. We have actually hired a landscaping company to come and do the landscaping on the front and sides of our house, like that way and around the front there. But we're going to hold off on doing the back here because sometime in the not too distant future we'd like to pour a patio or do something a little more out here. But in the meantime, I decided to put down some mulch because my kids like to get in the dirt there and the mud when it rains and drag it into the house. And so hopefully the mulch will clean it up a little bit. So we're going to spread some of this, and whatever we don't use, Grandpa's going to take. How are you today? Good. You having fun? Yeah. What's in your purse?
Cereal.
What's in there?
Cereal.
Snackies? Oh my goodness, you got snackies in your purse?
Yeah.
Better put some mulch around my tree here. Cover up all my corn seeds. Can you guys see it? Can you see all of this off-colored stuff here? That's all corn. Yeah, that's what happens. Oh well. Bunch of corn seeds there. Okay, I'm done mulching for a little while. Dad's been out here making our pad, or just spreading that stone dust stuff out, and he's got to move some equipment out of the way, so he's working on that. Moving the disc ripper. Looks nice, but it's a little thick. We gotta level it off or thin it out a little bit. Let's see if he needs any help. Yeah, it's a little It's amazing how far that thing sinks into the ground sitting here. Those two jacks on the back, and they just sink right in. Oh well. Anyway, we'll let him keep messing with this. We gotta go fly a field. Look at my tires sinking in on that. I probably shouldn't drive out here. Huh, how about that? I need to head down to our new farm that we bought. It's got corn coming up on it, and we'll look at the corn, although we just looked at that on Saturday. But we had some more rain over the weekend. We had another ½ inch of rain, and that farm is starting to dry off on top on the surface, particularly where there are tile lines. And today is a perfect opportunity to take a picture of it and have a makeshift tile map the best we can. So we got the drone. We're going to head down there, fly that real fast, and that way we know. It probably doesn't matter, because when we get to tiling it after we put wheat there, we're probably going to abandon everything that's there and just re-tile the entire farm. But at least we'll know what is there, and if there is something salvageable, we'll have an idea where it is. Here's our field. Corn's not great, but you can row it out here. We'll walk out there a little bit more in a minute. But yeah, I can already see some tile lines from here. We're going to throw the drone up and hopefully see a little bit better. I've got a second phone here. We'll talk about that some other time, but we're waiting for it to get fully booted up, acquire some more GPS satellites, and we'll see what we can find here. Well, now it's a recovery mission. I flew this field, got nice video and pictures of all the tile lines and everything, and then we've got one just across the road, like just, you know, it's a quarter of a mile down the road over there where we finished side dressing the other day, or maybe a ½ a mile. So I thought, let's go over there and take some video of that field and our corn and see what it looks like. And so we did. And I had like 40% when we left to go over there, and then that last 25% goes real fast. I was filming and ignoring the return to home because I'm like, we're fine. I know I got it. And then I got down to 20%. I'm like, all right, time to go. So we started running back, and I quickly realized we weren't going to make it. So we set it down in the corner of the field over there. And right as we got down to about 4 feet left, it said it died. So let's go see what kind of shape our drone's in. Whoops. Heck, the corn's grown since we were here on Saturday side dressing. Looks fantastic. So yeah, we were flying this field and kind of up over that direction, which is just down the road from where we were over there. I mean, literally line of sight still. And we were making a beeline back that way, and I'm like, nope, we aren't gonna make it. So I made it to this corner and tried to set it down where there wasn't any corn and it was relatively smooth. Let's see how we did. It's over there, and it's in one piece and right side up. We did okay. Landed it. Oh, it's still on. We're good. Whew. Trying to avoid those big power lines right there. Yeah, it's pretty obvious we weren't gonna make it back there. It's all right. Fortunately, we were over our own field and had somewhere to go with it. This corn is growing. Holy cow, is it growing? Let's do a growth stage here. I mean, we're 12-inch tall corn or better here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there is our 5th leaf collar. I don't know if I would consider that V5 yet, but it is darn close. All right, starting from the west side of the field and flying to the east, you can see the dry lines out there. Those are the existing tile lines. So we're kind of going right across the center of the field here. I did speed it up 4x just to get through this a little bit quicker. See the clouds blowing across, but a few random tile lines out there. They kind of hit the wet spots, but not a pattern tile job. And you can definitely see that it's quite a bit drier around where those tile lines are. So now we're on the north side looking south, heading back to the west, and you can again see the tile lines that kind of start along the road and work their way across there. There we got a couple of short strings right in the middle, and then here you'll see a kind of a network that works its way back up to the road, and there's actually a catch basin along the road that's a good outlet for us. And then this is across the road where that corn was that we side dressed the other day that I was looking at. If you look real close here, heading kind of across the rows, you can see the dry streaks Those are the tile lines in this field. So it kind of gives you a comparison to what a pattern tiled field is. Every 30 feet or 35 feet, whatever that one is, versus what that first one that you looked at was. So tomorrow, we're going to have something to do, whether it's dry enough to side dress or not. I don't know if it will be. This field's a little wet yet, but rumor has it we had more rain here than we did at home or to the fields to the north. So we might be able to side dress something back around home. We might not. I don't really know. If we can't side dress though, we can spray, and we've got some V5 fungicide that can be put on some of these first planted fields. They are ready, and we're going to spray them all, so we need to spray them. T-ball game tonight, and well, Brayson's in his 3rd year, so he's the biggest, oldest, fastest kid in T-ball this year. Back from the T-ball game. T-ball is, people care less than they care for 8U baseball, let's just put it that way. My wife's pumpkins were doing a little hand weeding out here with the hoe. She's got a really nice 2 rows of sunflowers there and back behind us. Did a little hand weeding. All the flags are pumpkins or melons or some sort of vine crop. There's a lot of them, and our germination rate or success rate was pretty poor there for a while, but a lot of them have come up since the last couple of rains. We gotta get some weeding done. I'm gonna need to buy a little tiller. This is too much work. I don't know if I think she bit off more than she knew she was trying to handle, but it's okay. So anyway, thanks for watching this one. Not the most exciting day in the world, but checking out those tile lines was pretty cool, being able to see that from the drone. So tomorrow should be a little better. Hopefully we'll get some seat time in the 8RX doing some side dressing. If not that, at least in the sprayer doing some V5 fungicide. Should be a good day. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow. I have no idea what a lot of this stuff is, but we're going to have a lot of them, whatever they are, if we can get the weeds under control. More up there. Lots of them.